Game number 2, Crazy Kong. This one released in the arcade at some point in 1981, and is pretty interesting because it's actually an official bootleg. Nintendo didn't think they could keep up with demand for Donkey Kong arcade cabinets, so they outsourced production of them to the company Falcon. While the game was initially released with permission from Nintendo, it was only meant for the Japanese market, but Falcon decided anyway to bring it over to the United States, which caused their contract to be terminated. There's not a whole lot of differences between this version and the arcade, except graphics and audio, but I still think it's interesting to cover. Not a whole lot of cover outside of the game itself. We just have this part, which is part of the arcade cabinet, and just really tells you the gameplay. There's no story to be seen at all. And then here's the crazy looking actual cabinet, which I don't know why Crazy Kong's blue, but I think it's pretty interesting looking. So the first thing you'll notice outside of the beautiful sound of Mario's jump is there's no music, and the colors for everything are very different. It kind of looks more like a sewer than a construction site. Gameplay wise, it's pretty much identical, just a little bit less polished, but it plays pretty much the same. Since this game was meant for the Japanese market, it doesn't actually use the US level order. It goes 25, 50, 75, and 100, just like the original Japanese game was supposed to. Something you'll notice at the top is that Crazy Kong's sprite is really weird. In the first level, it uses just a recolored version of the sprite from the arcade game, but for some reason, in this level specifically, it uses this much larger and weirder looking sprite, and then when the level actually ends, it reverts back to the arcade sprite. For whatever reason, this level is missing the fireball that's supposed to be on the right, which makes getting this accessory pretty much trivial. So in 100 down, a weird change that I'm not really sure the reason for is that instead of the fire enemies that are really normally present here, they use the fire enemies from the first 3 levels instead. I don't know if it really changes all that much. This game is a lot easier in general, so I don't know if this is part of that or it's just generally how everything's programmed, but it's a difference that really is just here for Crazy Kong. Once again, there's not really any new content following actually beating the first loop. It just gets a little bit harder and it keeps going for forever. Once again, the Jax and 75M end up being my doom, which is usually how it is whenever I play this game. The two-player mode isn't really all that different from how it is in the original arcade game, but I just wanted to show it off, just to show that it's basically the same. For whatever reason, the bonus timer doesn't have any special sound effects for whenever it's going down to the bottom. Most versions do have that, so it's weird that a pretty much direct port like this doesn't include it. And that's it for now, but Cranky Kong Part 2, which was re-released of this game, actually has quite a few differences that are going to be more interesting to show off.